I was fascinated by Elena's talk, but it's not the same way I look at the markets at all. So we'll talk about that. So I have been trading for 42 years. I'm a PhD mathematician and programmer, and I've finally finished my 7th book on trading with Samuel K. Tennis. And I finished with, it took 2 years, June 26th, it'll be to write it. And if anybody wants to give me a call, I take phone calls, and I'm putting my phone number up there. So not during the presentation, but any other time, that would be great. All right, so I'm going to look at what I normally trade, which is the E-mini first. And this is a daily chart. When it gets here. Oh no, that's a 5-minute chart. That's a beautiful chart. So what I have several things on this chart. First is I have a little, this is with TradeStation. And I have a little paint bar indicator that colors the nighttime bars magenta and blue for me, and the day bars red and green, so I can tell them apart just at a glance. And everything that I do, all the programs that I've written, are just to make my own trading easier, because that's my primary profession. So red and green bars, these are sunny bands. The green and blue, and then blue and green bands around price. And I've got a moving average in the middle. It's got a purple line and a gold line, and then a thin black line in the middle. And the gold and purple lines are my dynamic moving average, DMA, dynamic moving average. And the reason I call it dynamic, and the reason it's different than anybody else's moving average, is because it calculates its own inputs based on the speed of the market using calculus and matrix algebra. So, and it uses a little linear regression in there too. But the gold and purple lines, the moving averages, are the basis for all my work. So these things, and the reason I came up with them in the first place is because everything else whipsaws. And when you encounter whipsaw with your moving average, then you give back the profits you made during the trend. So this thing, you can see down here where it goes flat, it doesn't turn. It doesn't whipsaw back and forth here like any other moving average would do. Likewise, up here at the top, look at what price does. Up, down, up, and back down again. And the moving average stays nice and steady all the way through that. So that's what's going on here, is steady movement, crossovers when it's significant. So on this 5-minute E-mini, the trades that are called out by the sunny bands, which are the green and blue lines on the extremes on either side of the dynamic moving average. And I read them by saying price is going to go down to the lower outer band, back up, stalling a little bit at the flat DMA, that always happens, and then go all the way back up to the outer band, turns red and comes in. I take profit. I don't go short on this one because the gold line is on top and it's moving strongly upward. And so because it's moving strongly upward, I'm just going to stay with that, but I will get out here and take profits and then get back in when it crosses the inner band. Another long trade, another exit, another long trade. Then this touches the outer band and turns red. Because it turns red, I'm looking at a short signal, and then I go short down here, all the way to the bottom again. This was a difficult market, I must say, today because of the fast moving. This is a 5-minute chart. And it is a fast moving market today. Yesterday was lovely. Let's look at yesterday for a second. See, that's just one trade. So I had a short trade here, and then I was long all the way up to here. And then I quit because I saw the DMA go sideways. And I'm like, I'm not trading a sideways DMA. So I quit trading. And that was about 12 grand. So today, though, is a little more difficult. On the bottom of this chart, I have my dynamic moving average histogram, and you see it reflects the gold and purple colors that are in the DMA. So we've got gold and purple. If the histogram lines are above the 0 line, you can see they're gold, and then they turn red. So that means that the gold line is still on top, but the difference between the gold and the purple is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You see it move down here. And as it moves down, it's warning me that it's going to cross over and purple will be on top, and then we're for sure short. So right back here is where we got the warning for the short signal on that trade. Are there any questions so far? Is anybody here? Send me a Y if you're here. Oh, excellent. What are with these numbers? 41, 410, 500. Who is that? I don't know anybody's numbers. Interesting.
It's a weird artifact of the
Of Zoom?
of my system. Yeah. So
you and your spreadsheets.
long story, but yeah, that's
there's a guy I know. Hi, Mark. Okay, so back to this now. I also have the histogram. That's where we were. So it turns purple and goes below when the purple of the DMA, the purple line is on top. And then it turns green. This is my green is for buy and red is for sell. So green tells me right here, right exactly on that it's time to go long. And we go long and we stay with it. And here, as it's switching back and forth, you can see that's because the DMA is flat. I call flat DMA caution, because anything can happen at this flat DMA line. Somebody asked me the other day, isn't it always flat when it turns, when it crosses over? And here's a good example. It goes up, 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 1 bar, it's flat, and then turns the other direction. So whoever asked me that the other day, I hope you're here, because this is a great example. Let's look at something else. Do you want to look at intraday charts and potential trades, or do you want to look at daily charts and potential projections of where I think price is going? Somebody answer me. Both. Both. Okay. Well, then let's look at that one on a daily chart. That way we'll do both on this one. Oh, and I have a couple other things on these charts I have to show you too. And this one's going to color them funny, because it's going to color these as if they were intraday bars. On the bottom of the chart, you see the dots that are purple and gold, purple and gold, purple and gold. These are, I've aptly named who's on top, because I want to know who's on top, gold or purple. So it colors them appropriately. And then sometimes you see this will go to a light gold, and same will be over here. Get out of the way. And the same will be over here. It'll go light purple. And that's when the DMA is flat. It warns me by giving me a faded color. And then does anybody besides me know who Sam Tennis is? Sam Tennis is the guy who wrote System Writer Plus, which became TradeStation, and Easy Language, their programming language, back when it was called Omega Research. This panel over here to the right, real-time profit loss viewer, is fantastic. You don't have to bring up the performance reports. You can see right here exactly what's happening on your whatever trade you have, and you can do the settings and make sounds and choose your account and choose the colors and all kinds of wonderful things. So we'll go back to that. And Sam has another indicator here. Scroll the chart docked. So he docks this at the bottom of the chart. And if I wanted to jump to a particular date, this thing pops up over there. So I could say jump to 5:15 if I want to see a couple of days ago. And then I say, oh, that's daily. Yeah, so it did. It would jump back to 5:15 and put this vertical line there. So sometimes when you want to go to a specific place and you're like pushing the scroll bar and you can't see the dates, this scroll the chart docked is fantastic. Okay, so what we've got on the daily ES, according to my way of thinking, is it's bounced off a flat DMA over the last couple of weeks. It's touching the upper inner band, which is this blue one right here. Let's spread this out a little bit. Okay, so it's touching the upper inner band, and I think it's going for the upper outer band, which would be 42.14. So I think we're headed for that level. And I draw something I call attractors. It's like support and resistance and moving averages and Fibonacci numbers, and everything to me is an attractor. So right there's the attractor, because back here in the past, you can see it tried a couple times to go above that and couldn't. It hasn't made it since then, hasn't made it back up there, but I think that it's going to try. I think this is the point at which it's going to try to go up there. Now, will it go beyond that? Well, let's look at a weekly chart and see what we think. Okay, on the weekly chart, we're just barely making any progress. You see, this is basically sideways. There's a channel from there to there. If that channel holds, it's going to go back down to the midline. So it's looking to come back down in here on a weekly basis. If it doesn't break this orange line, which is an attractor that I drew some time ago I write a weekly newsletter called Sunny Side of the Street. And right at the top of the newsletter, it also has a little thing that you can push to play the song, Sunny Side of the Street. And in there, I analyze daily and weekly charts of 15 different markets. Anybody that wants, well, I put my phone number there, didn't I? Yeah. Anybody that wants a free issue of Sunny Side of the Street or free entry, I didn't even finish it yet, or a free entry into my live trading room on, well, right now it's Tuesday mornings. I'm thinking of changing it to Wednesday mornings because Tuesday mornings are always sideways. And it's just awful to try to trade a sideways market. So if you'll just text me to that phone number right there, you know, that's my cell phone, desk text SSS, Sunny Side of the Street. So you text me that, and then I'll need your email address as well, because that's how I send them out. So just let me know you'd like to have it. Terry Williams, Diane wants. Terry Williams says, sign me up before I even finish. That's really cute. But I need Terry's email. Would you offer your indicators on wealth charts as well? And I'm sorry, I don't have them for that. I've just recently finished the programming to offer them on NinjaTrader. So both the Sunny Bands and the Dynamic Moving Average Histogram are now available on Ninja. And everything I have is available on multi-charts and TradeStation. So multi-charts and TradeStation. The next, after I finish publishing this book, I've got to get the cover done and all the stuff with Kindle Direct Publishing done. And then I've got another book to write with Sam, and we've got some programming to do, because the next thing we're working on is my automated S&P strategy. And after that, then we're going to put the indicators on TradingView. So that's that story. TradingView one of these days, multi-charts and TradeStation, and 2 indicators for Ninja. Who is this? How's TradeStation been lately? Is this Rachel? Oh, from Mark. TradeStation's been doing really well. I just got a new update yesterday, and I don't know if that has to do with its performance or not, but I found that the only way I was using TradeStation before was on Wi-Fi. And I found that if I plug my computer directly into the router instead of going back through Wi-Fi, it didn't hang up when it's trying to process data. So I got a new router. So now I've got a 2 gigabyte router with 4 ports in it, and that makes me happy. No Thinkorswim, no, sorry. So we've got multi-charts, TradeStation, NinjaTrader, and eventually TradingView. And that's as far as I'm going. Sorry, guys, but I do have a guy at TradeStation. His name's Mike Rule. And Mike will hook you up with the special Sonny Harris discounts if you want to get TradeStation. And if you buy my products like Sunny Bands or this dynamic moving average, Mike will give you a rebate on your commissions up to and including $6,000. So I don't even charge that much. Oh, Aaron from Ecuador. Your strategy will only be applicable, yes, to the S&P when I get it done. That's the only thing I'm going to test it on. Let's put it that way. It might work on other things, but that's the only thing I'm testing it on. Okay, so back to the chart now. We're looking at a weekly, and I've got an attractor drawn in here because I got sidetracked into talking about sunny side of the street. So this is what that attractor was for, is sunny side of the street, and you'll see it comes right up here again. And this could be a shallow head and shoulders. And if so, it's going down to about here, down below the words, down to the lower outer band. Head and shoulders, however, are one of the most failed technical analysis patterns. I did some programming once to find out which ones of the TA indicators actually work. Most of them kind of don't. All right. So we're looking at maybe coming up to, what is this line? 42.2386. And you'll see that back here at that same level, we've got a flat DMA, making this an even stronger attractor. So I'm guessing on a weekly basis, we're going to come up here and touch this and come back down to the DMA, which is at 40.92. So we've got a range of 40.92 to 42.23. So we've got a couple hundred points there to work with. Also, you'll see here that the DMA histogram is green and getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And then it turns purple a couple times, shorter and shorter and shorter. That tells me that it's trying to turn to gold on top. It's getting very close to being gold on top. And if that happens, then we're going on up. Sometimes it'll just retreat from here and go back down. But if it turns gold on top, then we're going up into, what is this level? 33.64. So we're going up to that level next. Let's put that attractor on there too. And you see how I drew that? Here's a high that it hits. Over here it stumbles. Over here it stumbles with that price. Here we hit it again. So it's the frequency of the, what do I call that? Not the confluence. There's another word I use all the time. I can't remember it. Something of the evidence, preponderance of the evidence. So that's why I use these turning points. Preponderance of the evidence right here. Price hits it and hits it and hits it. And it pretty much has to hit it again. So let's look at something else. How about Apple? And now we're looking at a weekly chart of Apple. We're going to draw the attractors in. And we've got right about there, we've got an attractor. So we're going to go on up to here on a weekly basis again, and then take a little correction. And this is at 176.21. And on the sunny bands, you can see that we got this buy signal right down here, which is at 130, and now we're up to 174. That's a pretty darn good buy signal. And right through here, you see the DMA's flat, and you see what price does every time this DMA's flat, it congests. So we've got congestion happening here, and then we continue on up. Now, I wouldn't get out or go short right there because I know the DMA's flat. It might tick below there, but chances are it's going to hold. So then I watch it go on up, 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 up. And as soon as I get a red candle that goes below the upper outer band, and then the next candle confirms that price movement. So I want to look for the signal candle, which would be red, and then the next candle to go lower than that price. And once that happens, then I go short. So let's look at the daily on this. You'd think with my new router, this would go faster. Okay, we've got Apple just going up and up and up on a daily basis. So even though we've got this attractor still overhead here, this doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon on this chart until we till we broaden the view and look out in the past. And right here is why that attractor was drawn. Let's do a little Fibonacci. So if we put this from here up to the attractor, and you can see that's really cool. You can see that at the 23.6, it had a lot of congestion back in through here. And I would not be at all surprised to see it come down to the DMA because of this. To come halfway down to the 23, stumble at the DMA, and then go on down. So that's too bad. I like Apple. I don't have any Apple equipment, but I do like them as a company. Did anybody read Steve Jobs, the book, or Jobs, whatever it was called? Boy, that was good. Amazon. Well, that doesn't look too pretty good, does it? That's a daily chart. We've got a couple of attractors here. Right through here, we've got a lot of congestion. And then we've got a flat DMA right through here, which is right about where we are. We're a little higher than that. Flat DMA over here again. And then we've got an attractor up here. So Amazon doesn't look too happy, although it did have a gap up today's chart. I'm not, let's see, if I counted waves, 1, 2, 3, then we need a corrective 4 back down into this level. And then we'll have movement on up higher. My friend Glenn Neely, who wrote Neo Wave analysis, he posts a chart of his predictions every week in my sunny side of the street. And you need a new gaming PC, somebody says to me. That's pretty funny because this is a new gaming PC. Anyway, he puts these predictions and he counts Elliott waves different from the way Elliott originally intended them. He calls them neo waves, new waves. So it's neo wave for Glenn Neely, and his stuff, if you go to neowave.com, is really fascinating. But he's predicting the start of the new bull market is now. So he thinks we're going to go sharply up. That would be lovely. Let's look at Amazon on a weekly basis and see what we've got. That's not pretty either. But we're right at that attractor, and we've got a trend line. And see, I use all kinds of technical analysis, not just my sunny bands. I've read 746 books so far about things related to the markets. And I bring them all into play when I'm trading. So this really is this trend line coming down here like this that broke it. Will it continue or will it drop back and under that line? This is the weekly. And we've got an attractor down below the market here. Look at that. Huh. So I guess my projection on this one would be we'll go up a little bit further and then drop back. I don't expect it to just skyrocket out of there. Anybody have a symbol you want? I have 64 gigs of RAM. A lot of people are short. Actually, I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm not short. Okay, cool. Now I've got some more symbols. Thanks. This is AMD. Somebody wanted AMD. And we're looking at a really long protected head and shoulders there that may not have resolved yet. It's really hard to tell. Okay, let's look at the daily and see what we've got. There we go. That's a nice looking chart. Let's see here. Kind of got a trend line that goes about like this under price. And then we've got a broadening formation here. And that goes out like that. So we're looking at a move on up to this level at 115. Currently 107, so we've got 8 points more to go on the upside. Let's see if we have an attractor on the horizontal. Yeah, right there is a pretty good one. And I think it's going higher than that. AMD on the weekly. What do we get? So it's got the same attractors on here, and you can see how it's hits back here, it hits back here, it's going to hit again. Just a few more points. But on the DMA histogram, you can see it turned green, solid green, and just went up, 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 up as this was moving up. Then it turned gold, which we knew it was going to do as it got shorter and shorter. Turned gold, and then real briefly red again because it was the market was moving down at that point. And now it's solid gold again. So the DMA histogram thinks we're going on up. Let's see what else we've got. Oxy. Who is Oxy? Occidental Petroleum, is that what that is? Yeah, that's right. And I think petroleum's just going on down further. And I that's one of the things that I analyze in my sunny side of the street. And yeah, I think it's just moving on down slowly. Now this is a company, it's not crude light. So let's look at crude just a second. Yeah, see how this has just been going down, 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 just keeps on moving slowly down. And gas is getting cheaper. I think we're going down to the tractor at this level right there. So this is like 64, which is, no, it's a little higher than 64, but that's just unheard of. Nobody would think that oil was going back down to that price. but I do. Let's see. Oh gosh, that says 59.43. Seems impossible, but I think that's what's happening. So let's go back to Oxy. With that in mind, so oil prices are going down and down. And on a weekly basis, Oxy is not responding quite as strongly, but we've got an attractor right there. Right there. I draw these things by blurring my eyes and looking at the chart. So I do think it's going to go on down to the lower sunny band. We've got a little couple of red bars here. We're going to go on down to, wow, this one says 54.74. Okay. And you can see on the histogram, we've got red that brought it down under the line to purple. Then we had some green because we had a little buying going on. And now it's solid purple again and getting longer. So we do have further down to go, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, as they say. All right, let's check out my favorite stock, Tesla. And that's a weekly awful chart. But despite His Highness, the Elon Musk, and I have a kid that has Asperger's, so I'm very familiar with the syndrome and what those people are like. They're very special, they're very brilliant, and they're very strange. So Tesla, fighting with Twitter management and Elon Musk's time, is suffering. And yet I still see more and more and more Teslas on the road. They're all over the place. So on this weekly chart, I think we're going to go down to the lower inner band, the blue one right here at the bottom of the sunny bands. We've got purple on top from way back here. See, the purple DMA has been on top this entire time. And we've been going down this entire time. And it's still on top, but it's sideways. So with a flat DMA, I can expect it to tip its hand and go a little bit above this and probably back down again. The green on the histogram is coming up, although it's slowed down and through here, it's still coming up. And if it goes up above the zero line, then we're gold and we're going up. But I don't see any great news coming out that I can think of to make that case fundamentally. Let's see what it looks like on a daily chart. And we've got attractors here and here. So we've got a channel since last, what is this, February. So since February, we got a channel going on and we barely ticked below it. And now we're back up above it. If we're going up, I think we're going up to the top of the channel at 217, which would be great from 176 to 217. But the DMA is flat right through here, you can see. And until it breaks out above this DMA, it's not going anywhere. It's in a sunny bands channel too, right here. You can see that. CL meaning crude light, is that what you /CL is somebody else's symbol? It's not a trade station symbol. So do you mean crude light? Yes, okay, so let's look at that. We just looked at that for a minute, but we'll look at it again. Okay, so there we've got crude on a daily basis, and you can see it just doing these little cycles up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, almost the same exact size cycles there, which is pretty interesting. And so we've got up and down, and if it does another cycle, then it's going to go up again just to complete that cycle. But I do kind of think it's just teetering, ticking on down little by little by little. And here's the attractor at 64.72. On the weekly, yeah, see, that's what we looked at earlier, and you can see the purple's on top, wavering a little bit, but just stays on top, and now it's turned down a little stronger. So I still think we're going down into the 60, low 60s, high 50s range. I think we're going to go on down to this level. Let's do something daring. Let's look at monthly for a minute. Yeah, and see where that attractor is on the monthly. We've got a flat DMA. We've got price dropping below the DMA. We've got a couple of explorations here where the wicks went down very close to that attractor, but not quite. And I think because the attractor's there and the lower inner sunny bands is right there, I think that's where we're headed. 6160, right in there. Call me a heretic, but that's what I think's happening. Okay, what else? I'll stop when you stop asking questions. Let's look at one of my favorites. Look at this one, Meta. So Facebook, look at that chart. That's a monthly chart of Facebook, Meta. Just straight up. That just looks like a Heikenashe because it's just straight up like that. Let's look at the weekly on this one. And there you can see, let's look at this. Horizontal line. Here's a, yep, look at that. See, all I did was draw this line on this yellow dot right here in conjunction with the fact that price was right over here. Price was stumbling at that level. So stumbling and then the yellow dot, those are my PHW dots. They stand for potential hourly wage. And the reason they're there is because I print out my charts every night. I analyze them with respect to these yellow dots, which are only put after the fact, but they're the pivot points, the ideal pivot points. And you'll see over here, it writes, let's get an arrow point. It writes words on the end of my chart and tells me the buy and hold for this chart would have been $188 if you bought it from the beginning and held it to now. And then it tells me if you were trader instead, you would have made $949 with the ideal being $1,500. So it gives me an idea. I mean, I like to know, can I make more money trading or working at McDonald's? And I think that too many people aren't even getting McDonald's wages out of their trading. If you're losing money, you're paying the exchange. So if anybody's interested in getting some education, I have plenty of that, and I'm happy to share it. So there's Meta on a weekly basis. Let's look at it on a daily for a second. There we go, just up, 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 up. I don't see any reason for it to stop. Maybe if they let Donald Trump back in, it'll stop. TTWO, I don't even know what that is. Take-Two interactive software. Oh my goodness, look at those gaps. Look at that. Let's look at it on a higher time frame and see what we've got. Take-Two interactive software. All right, so here we go. We're going to draw a horizontal line right across right there. And you can see it hits here and hits there. And then it hits here, it hits here, it falls through there, and that's where we're going. And that's at, let's see, 146.44. And that's how high I think it's going to go. 146.44. And right now it's at 140.41. See this blue dot that I've got on here? I told you I like to make my life easy as a trader. I don't want to be thinking about anything while I'm actually trying to place trades except just execution and direction. So this blue dot tells me that the last price was up and it shows me the exact tick. So the current price is right exactly at that blue dot. If I go like this and I go back to here, let's go to a 2-minute chart. What the heck? And you'll see now it's a red dot because it meant the last tick was down. So I don't have to look at these candles and try to remember, okay, is the bottom the close or the top the close? That shows me where the price is currently. And this indicator is very cleverly called current price. So that's that one. So let's go back to daily. And so that's how high TTWO can go. CCJ or CCI? I think it's CCJ. What is this? It says, I can't figure that. Diane, can you look up what CCJ stock symbol stands for? And so we're going up in fits and starts, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And now we are down. This is a daily chart. We're down to a flat DMA again. Chances are, and this is, you never know. Oh, it's a uranium stock. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I like uranium. I also like to look up lithium. Are there lithium stocks we can look up? Can anybody give me a symbol? So we're right here at a flat DMA. That price is more than likely going to bounce off and come back at least to the upper interband at 28.13. So yes, it's showing red right now, but I think because I know this is a flat DMA, I think it will bounce and go back up to this level. So
LAC is a lithium.
thank you. So we're looking at 28, and it's currently at 27.18. That's not much of a bet for me. I'm not looking to make a point or two. I'm looking to make 50 points, which is why I trade the ES, everybody. Let's look at LAC. So this is Lithium Amers Corp. And you would think that lithium would be going higher than that. Let's look at a trend line from here to here, and also from here to here. So it's broken out above that second trend line that I drew. And here's the support level back at this trend line. We've broken out. The DMA has turned, the histogram has turned gold. You can see it was green, 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 and telling me it was going to turn, and then it's gold. So I knew price was going up at this level. Right here, let's draw that one in. We've got where was I? Right here, we've got an attractor. This goes through price hitting, this is the preponderance of price, hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. Here we go, hit it and go below it, go above it, hit it again. So right there where we currently are is where the attractor is. If we're going anywhere up, we're going to this level right through here, which is at 2608. I read an article this last week, I think, about the fact that they have found lithium deposits in the Salton Sea here in California, and they're going to begin mining that. So, and they say there's an abundance of lithium there. So if that's the case, price of lithium could go down. What's ALB? Let's see what that is. Can't read it under there, so I'm just going to leave it to you guys. But we've got a trend line. It's coming down from this high. Down about like that, and then a breakout that's, oh, that's not right. Delete that. A breakout that takes us straight up through here. It's already hit the upper sunny bands we've got another horizontal attractor over here, right there. And it hits that several times. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. We've got disagreeing, crossing over attractors. So, this is, I think, likely to break up into this cone area up here. I think it's likely to at least try to get past that. Whether it will make it any further or turn back, that's another question entirely, but I do think the market's going to test it. What else you got for me? Do I have a scanner too? Of course I do. Of course I do. What conditions would you like to be putting in a scanner? I have a scanner that I publish in Sunny Side of the Week, Sunny Side of the Street every week. And the scanner I use is above all three moving averages and greater than 100 for my indicators short and long. Well, no, it can, it kind of, I do. Let's do it real quick. So if I go studies, add study. And SJH, that's my initials. And radar screen, they start with R's, so we go down to that. And then, where is it? Let's see, dynamic moving average. And this makes a colorful display. If it doesn't. Does it not know my password? Come on. Inputs, it knows my password. Okay, I have one more guess. Let's see, settings. That's not right, studies. And let's set bars back. That's the problem. Now it's bringing it up and showing us the colors. So you can real quickly tell once this thing fills out, it's not filled yet. But once the whole thing fills out, you can tell whether purple's on top or gold's on top. And you can set alerts so it will tell you when the price crosses over the different bands, inner band, outer band, upper, lower, outer, all that kind of stuff. And this is not loading quite yet. Sometimes we have to wait on TradeStation. Let's see if it needs more than. Well, anyway, it's not working at the moment, but this is what I look to for scanning stocks and symbols to see who's on top, which direction it's going. It will give me red, gold, green, and purple cells in this direction column. And it will give me a little two forward slashes means it's strongly up. A forward slash and a down slash means it was up, now it's going down. And likewise on the other side, two backslashes means it's strongly down. A backslash and a forward slash means it was going down and now it's going up. And those are all in Sunny Side of the Street. So anybody that wants Sunny Side of the Street, type SSS in the chat or call me on my cell phone and type or text me on my cell phone and type SSS in there. And if anybody has TradeStation, multi-charts, or NinjaTrader, if you just type Sunny Bands to my cell phone, I'll set you up with a trial. Do I have trade? No, I don't have a trade recommendation service. Thank you for asking. But I do have Sunny Side of the Street that analyzes 15 different charts every Sunday night. I spend 12 hours on the weekend writing the thing and conducting my analyses and all that sort of thing. So you can subscribe to that, and it's a tiny little subscription fee.
We need the email for Terry Williams.
Yeah, Terry Williams, I need your email address. If you want to direct message me, that would be great. For swing trading, what does that mean? For swing trading, what? A weekly meeting for swing trading? Ah, that's a cool idea. I mean, I'll think about that. What would you be willing to pay for something like that? Yes, it can definitely be used on TradeStation. That's my preferred platform. I've been using TradeStation since 1986 and programming easy language since then. I wrote a book about 12 years ago called TradeStation Made Easy. So I'm kind of a TradeStation junkie. All right. Let's close this window. We don't want that anymore. So let's get back and look at Meta we've got here. Let's look at Google a minute. I saw something interesting happening. Oh, that's not even right. Google. So we can see that. I saw it was doing something exciting the other day. I do have quite a bit of Google. And we can take those fibs off because they're just way out of line. But look at that. Look at that. We've got a following the upper outer band on and on up. So that's just delightful. There is an attractor. Here is an attractor right where we are. Because these are past explorations. This is where the market has explored previously, and it's likely to go back and explore it again. I wouldn't be surprised either if this thing went on up into this level right here at what is this, 126, 128, something like that. That wouldn't surprise me, but nor would it surprise me if it turned around and did a little correction here, moving on down at least to the lower upper inner band, if not down to the GMA. So a little correction wouldn't be surprising, and neither would continued up movement. All right. How about another symbol? Let's look at them. This is one of my favorites, but I feel really bad about this woman's trading, Kathy Wood of ARK Invest. And she's a brilliant woman, and she's really strong personality, but yet she's trying to pick bottoms. And she just does it over and over and over again. And her fund has gone down something like 90% since its high. So, you know, I contacted her and told her I'd be happy to give her sunny bands for free. Just please get your trading fixed. So you can see there, this is a daily chart of her fund. Let's look at the monthly chart. You want to see how bad this has gotten. This is the one of the ones I analyzed in the sunny side of the street. Look at that. It just went skyrocketing up and straight back down to that level. So it's, you know, she's just languishing right here in the middle of nowhere doing nothing. If we change this to a weekly, we'll get the sunny bands back. There wasn't enough data to calculate that. Okay, so what do? We draw horizontal lines, and right through there, that's the attractor. I'm hoping she can pull it around. I'm hoping she can pull it back out and get up here. And let's look at a Fibonacci real quick on her. We'll see where she should be going. It'd be nice to see her get up to this 67 level. It's going to be hard for her, but right there's the next Fibonacci right up above her. And there's an attractor right through here. You see these prices, confluence of price, preponderance of price right there. So that wouldn't be unheard of, but she's following her biggest holding is Tesla. So, I mean, she's kind of stuck with a lot of Tesla, and Tesla isn't doing all that well. Let's look at Tesla on the same. Somebody asked, what's my profit loss percentage? Do you mean the ratio of profit to loss? Winning trades versus losing trades? So Tesla is doing the same thing. It's the same configuration chart as ARC. Yes, what's my PL percentage? 44%. So my wins are considerably larger than my losses, and my PL percentage is 44%. I've found that professional traders trade between 35 and 45% most of the time. Okie doke. You have any questions at all to finish up with? And otherwise, I'll be done and you can catch me on the flip side. Send me a text, send me an email, give me a call. SSS if you want a free sunny side of the street. Sunny Bands if you want a free trial. And thank you so much.